Wish that you were better.
First off, thank you guys for having me, for giving me your time, having me on here for my show. We got Mr. Andrei all the way from Sweden and John in Denver, and then I'm in Miami. So we're literally all over the world right now at different times. So it's pretty awesome how this is exactly what this industry does. It creates a bond from people all over the world. But I actually always start this off by getting to know how you guys really got in this industry, because that's one of the questions I ask for new people is like, hey, what made you get in the agency space? You can be an e-com owner and Shopify and work a job and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to start with Andrei, man, because we've been doing this for quite some time, man. How did you start? Where did we get started here?
Geez, that's actually a very long story, but I guess I kind of started with the whole drop shipping Shopify gig like in 2016 or something like that, which was very cool back then, you know, drop shipping stuff from AliExpress.
Yeah.
All that. So that's kind of how I got into Facebook ads and marketing in general, because before I didn't really know that much about marketing, like copywriting and all that stuff. But of course, the thing with like back then with drop shipping and Shopify, like you need money to start. Like you need buttloads of cash to, you know, test different products, audiences, build a store. So you really need a lot of money up front.
Yeah.
And I think I had like $1,000, ran ads for a couple of weeks, days, made plus minus, but I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go anywhere with this. So then I was like, I had more experience with Facebook, and then I was like, maybe I can freelance and, you know, help other people grow their businesses and stuff like that. And then I, you know, just by being in Facebook groups, I discovered that people actually build their own agencies where they can help local business owners. And I was like blown away. And this was like in 2017. So I started my own agency. I was getting clients from all over the world, Europe, US, all that kind of stuff. So I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just trying to get clients to make money. And then I kind of stumbled upon some people that helped me. They're very, you know, popular in this industry. And I kind of got a grip. Okay, I need a niche. I need to focus on a niche. I need to have one product and know those kinds of things. And I kind of like, you know, did the cold email thing, cold calling, even all that stuff for a good 2 years, I would say.
Wow.
Never really succeeded that much. I would say I think the top of my solo agency was like 5 clients. Had like a month where I made like 11K, and then the next month, of course, all of them quit. So I was back at 0K and whatever. And I was just kind of stuck in this rat race.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, I just needed help. And I kind of like, I was looking to work with somebody, but at the same time, like, I'm like, I don't trust anybody to start a business with. Like all my friends were not that into agencies. They had like their stable jobs, whatever. So I was just kind of like getting a client for 1 month, then not have any clients for a couple of months. And I was always looking for a partner, I guess. But, you know, I had all these criteria in my head. And I think the most important one was trust. So I was always looking in my friends, my close friends in the city or whatever, where I was traveling, somebody to partner up with. And I actually tried maybe once with a close friend, and that didn't really work out.
Yeah.
And then I think John and I met in like Nick Robbins' group. He had a group like 4 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And I was in the dental niche. I think he was also coming into the dental niche. He's going to tell you your own story. But he was basically asking me for help. And I was like, I was just like all over the place. I was looking into other niches. So I was like, I can give you everything that I have for dental, and I can help you out. Maybe some other guy can make this work.
Sure.
And we just started talking for a couple of months, back and forth, like giving each other advice, tips, whatever. And then it's funny, actually. Like because I saved some money, so I kind of like decided I'm going to go to Asia and just, I don't know, figure it out from Asia for like a couple of months. And so John and I didn't really talk for 3 months, I would say, at the end of 2018. And then like one day he just messages me like, hey man, thank you for the stuff that you gave me, whatever. It's really cool, but I feel like I need somebody to do this together with, because it's hard on your own. And I was like, do you want a partner? And he said, yeah. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to fly to the US next week. So I took a flight from Bangkok in Thailand to Washington, D.C., and I was with them for like 2 months building the company that we have today, and that's how we ended up here.
Where are you from, Andrei?
Originally, I'm from Romania, but I'm also Swedish.
Swedish. Okay, yeah, because obviously I can see the accent, but your English is great. And then John, you and I go way back. Like, actually, true story for you guys who are watching. John was actually the very first person I ever coached in sales, and that was like, he doesn't even know this. I always tell people, you're good when you do things, but you take it to the next level when you teach people.
Absolutely.
And I remember I was just starting to close, and then John's like, "Yo, dude, you're closing. Help me out." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't even know what I'm doing." And dude, your story's crazy because I didn't even know you were in dental. I remember you were in mortgage at one point and going back and forth.
I was trying, Mm-hmm.
How did you get started? I don't even know how you got started because your story is like, you've been doing this for a few years as well, right?
Yeah. So I think I've been doing it as long as Andre. I'm not really sure, but basically this all started, I'm going to try and keep it somewhat short-ish, but I went to college, didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. I got bit by the entrepreneur bug, kind of. Like, I was really into business. I was living in Brazil for like 6 or 7 months, and then I just read like a bunch of books, and then me and one of my friends wanted to start some sort of clothing brand, and he was going to be like the tech side, I was like the social media side. I didn't know crap about it. And then I Googled social media, and then Tai Lopez came up, and that was like when his course started to blow up, and he's the one that sparked my journey. I think his course was kind of crap compared to everything now, Joel's and like everything, but that's what really sparked my journey into this whole thing. And then I struggled so hard because I didn't know, I didn't have skills. And for the like biggest thing to like grow here is to really get really, really good at like your like craft in terms of like, sales or like marketing. I was crap at everything, and getting clients was like, oh my God, such a hassle. I was doing everything. I was like knocking on doors. I was like showing up in like person and like a tie and everything. I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. And then I met up with you. I think this was before I was with Andre. I'm not really sure, but it's actually kind of funny. So I've known Joel for a very, very long time too. Not like personally as like friends yet, but we joined JR Rivas's Cairo group or something. And this was like way back when. And I think Joel was maybe at like 10, 20 or 30K. And I was at like maybe 2K or 3. And I actually, something that I heard from Nick Robbins was to pay people money for knowledge. And that kind of blew my like mind for some reason. And I messaged Joel, and I was his very first coaching client. And I think Joel charged me, like I paid him like maybe $100 or like $150 for 1 hour, maybe 2. And now it's like thousands of dollars. So it's like kind of crazy how it's like kind of gone through. And he helped me out, and I did well, I guess, but I wanted to look for like more. And then Andre told us that like story, and then now we're crushing.
You know what's really funny about what you just said is that it blew your mind to pay for coaching, but it didn't blow your mind to pay for college. Because
exactly.
It's like the same thing, right? Because we get, you go to school, get your grades, go to college, get your grades, graduate, and get a job for 40 years, and then hopefully you retire. But when it comes to coaching, because it's a lot more, potentially short term, you pay someone, and in 6 months, a year, look where you guys are at. Compared to a year ago, you guys were nowhere near where you're at now. If you focus and you implement everything the right way, you follow the right people that have been in your shoes for just 1 year, that's all it takes to revolutionize your life forever.
It's been a huge thing for like us, and like that's been a huge habit, and we've just been investing money left and right. I mean, like Andre knows, like we've spent like tens of thousands of dollars. Like maybe for this year, we spent maybe like 50K or something. I don't even know. And it's worth it. Like sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but I think it's still a good path,
For sure. Andre, for you, like when it comes to investing, like were you because I remember you were the hard close when it came to Rise and Inner Circle. So like hearing that you guys have spent like 5 figures, where did that flip for you? Because it sounds like when you started, you wanted to learn everything on your own. You kind of wanted to figure things out. You wanted to partner up. You didn't want to partner up. Like where did that change come from? And what? Well, answer that, and I'll ask my next question.
Can you just repeat the question again? It was too much stuff.
Yeah. So like for you, where was the shift when it comes to investing yourself? Because it seems like you're a little bit more introverted, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you're the kind of guy that loves to figure things out on your own and like learn and really execute it the right way, and instead of like just hoping and praying you're paying the right person. So where was that shift for you?
I maybe that's like a misunderstanding. Like I don't have an issue with paying people. I just feel like, especially in the marketing industry, there's a lot of like, I would say 95% of people just talk, but they don't deliver anything.
Yes.
A lot of failed marketers out there that try to have an agency and then succeed, and now they're coaching other people on how to grow their agencies. A bunch of them. So like, I guess maybe my experience, compared to John, is that I was actually burned a lot at the beginning. Like, especially when I didn't have money, I spent up to like 5 to 10K when I told you those first clients that I got. The same thing. I was like, I want to learn more. I want to pay people. And I don't know, I just realized like, it's like you need to kind of put in the work and see who are the real people in this in this environment. And I guess, right now I could name maybe 5. Joel's group is of course one of them, the top.
Yeah.
Like there's just a lot of people that, they don't really succeed, and then they just try to sell other people on the dream. So it just all comes down to like research, and also you get a feel like that both of us, we've been doing it for so long now, and we have so much experience. So when we're paying people, paying people for like specific problems and high level stuff that we're struggling with at like 100K a month, 200K a month. We're not paying for how to get our first 5 clients or stuff like that. So we kind of know exactly what we're looking for, and we just try to match that with like the best person that's where we want to be right now and all that stuff. And that honestly just comes down to experience. Like you just got to learn who's the real deal.
Yeah, and actually a lot of it comes down to trust. And I was the one that kind of pushed us to get into this and all that stuff, because like number one, Joel was like the very first guy that I ever paid, and he's helped me out, and he's helped tons of like other friends out. And then you were the first one to really help me more on like sales and stuff. So that trust was already there, maybe more so than like him. So that's why I was the one that kind of pushed it along more.
I want to talk about yeah, go for it, Andrei. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say that, like, and especially when you're in a partnership, it's kind of like the trust just cascades to other people. So if like John trusts somebody 100%, and I don't, like, I never met you, but I know you through the Facebook groups and all that stuff. But like if John says, "Hey, I trust this guy," like I gotta trust you as well. And it's been great so far. Like there's no issues there.
Yeah, we care about relationships. I made a whole post about it. I care about relationships, not just sales. So like, I actually want to talk about y'all's partnership because it's interesting. I think John first witnessed, probably one of the first partnerships you witnessed was Joel and Marcos. And you're probably like, well, man, dude, Joel has someone that's doing sales and he's in the back end focusing on systems. And you were trying to figure out sales, and you're trying to figure out, same with Andrei, trying to figure out sales and cold calling and this and this. And then, but y'all's relationship is very unique because you guys have not met thousands of times in person, right? A few times, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually kind of like weird because like, when I tell friends and family who aren't in this space that like, yeah, my business partner is in Europe, they're like, oh, what? That's kind of weird. Like, how'd you guys meet? And I just tell them, yeah, the internet marketing world, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But yeah, it was, I think we just kind of built that trust kind of fast. I don't know why, because I think we're both kind of around like the same phase, and we've gone on Zoom calls and stuff. We've bought the same types of courses, and it just kind of worked out. And yes, I did see Joel and his partner do a lot of things. And I just like saw, and I don't know if it was Joel or someone else, but that just gave me a big idea that like, I can't do this by myself. Like maybe like, I like work hard, but I'm not like a freaking genius where I can just do like everything. And it just puts a lot less stress. And I just like, time too.
Yeah.
So
100%. if I would tell every person this, if I was to start an agency by myself today, I would be able to hit 10, 20K, but in order to really scale, I would always look for partnerships and someone that, I'm not a wizard when it comes to Facebook ads. I mean, I'm sure I can figure some things out. And I think that happened with you guys. Like, one is relatively extroverted, the other one is relatively introverted. So it's a good combination in business. But like, when you guys first like talk to each other, how did that happen? Because I get asked all the time about partnerships, and I tell someone, like, you've got to trust this person with your life. Like, literally, when you guys are, when you get 20, 30K a month, it's not a big deal. When you get 100K a month, you're talking about serious potential life-changing money. Like, how in the beginning, what was the hardest part? Was it just like the time difference, like not really knowing the person? Like, I'm sure it wasn't like you messaged Andre, John, and then it became immediate. Like, you guys just like signed a contract. So I know it was like a road. So how did that happen for you guys in the beginning?
I guess on my end, it was something like, I didn't just want to dip my toes into it and it's like, oh, let me see if this works out or whatever. I was kind of like thinking, okay, what can I do on my end to make this partnership work, or to get to know this guy as quick as I can and to see if he's legit. Because I didn't want to, like, just dabble around this partnership for like 2-3 months, kind of in, kind of out, and then be like, oh yeah, it didn't work. Of course, it would not have worked. So yeah, I asked him, like, do you have a spare room in your house? I'm gonna fly and be with you for like 2 months, and we're gonna work each day and get to know each other and do all kinds of stuff, become friends, not friends, but like, just get to know each other as much as possible and build something together. So
yeah.
And he said, yeah, come over. And I guess that's when that's the base of our relationship. And, we haven't met so many times live, but I guess we talk almost each day. Like, I talk to John more than I talk to my girlfriend. So,
and I think the fact that people can just like talk a lot of stuff, right? Words, but the action that he took to like fly over here is like a huge deal. So I saw that, and I saw the like drive in him that he wanted to make it work. So you just feel that.
Yeah, 100%. So he flies over and you guys started working together, and you said, like, I don't know if we want to be friends, bro. I think that's super important. If I can't vibe with you, I don't know if I want to build a business with you. Like, you can make money in the world, man. If in the end of the day, if you guys don't actually like each other, that's gonna break. I've seen that happen a lot. Trust me. And you guys working together, like, what was the biggest challenge in the beginning when you guys first partnered up? And the reason I ask this is because there's a lot of people here that are working with someone, they're looking to work with someone, and I always tell someone, like, you guys didn't force this. It happened a little bit, like you talking to groups and what would you suggest to someone that is looking to partner up, and like, what are some of the struggles that you guys went through in the beginning?
Struggles, I think with each other, there honestly wasn't that much struggle because we were on the same page and we set the expectation clear from the start. Like, I think one of the things is, like, you can't just go from 0 to 100. You kind of have to warm it up, slowly turn that knob, and go on a lot of Zoom calls. First, kind of like plant the seed, like you're gonna do like a partnership and talk about it and like talk, and then you're just going to have to make some sort of plan and just do it. But in terms of between the both of us, I think we always vibed pretty well. And I think you need that. And you definitely need to meet up in person for sure, for at least a week or so to actually figure out if, it is going to work.
Yeah. Same thing for you, Andre?
We actually, it's funny. Like, we actually got along right from the beginning. Like, we didn't really, I don't think we ever fought. Of course, there's been like difficult times, frustration, mostly because of the agency. Like, we were not where we were supposed to be, or clients were like dropping left and right, or, there was like frustration more on the agency part, but never like between us, like, we don't, even where there's like conflict, we don't attack each other or stuff like that. Like, we attack the situation, if anything, but we don't like insult each other or stuff like that. Because, if you have that kind of like relationship where you start blaming each other, or you're dumb, you're stupid, you don't know, like, that's just like a downhill from there, right? So we usually, we never really had conflicts between us, and we kind of like got along from the beginning, which is weird. But we also had like our difficulties because we're different people at the end of the day, and with the time zone and everything, it can be difficult. But I don't know, John, like, I don't feel like there was ever like a breaking point or something that's
Good.
at least in my memory.
Yeah, I think you just simply have to like vibe well. Like you have to like be able to like that like person and just like understand what your actual values are and like everything.
For
And
sure.
I guess another thing that's important, like this sounds all good, but like don't look for a person that's identical to you. Like John and I, we're pretty much on the same level when it comes to the basics, when it comes to the fundamentals. But we're also like, John is more inclined to pay a bunch of courses and coaches. I'm not. And then we have the conversation. Okay, let's balance things out. Let's see what's the best scenario moving forward. Or, I want to focus on something to move the agency forward. He wants to focus on something else. So then again, we come together and we analyze the situation and we come with the best solution. So I think it's kind of dangerous if you have two people that think exactly the same way, because then you're like unaware of everything else because you always agree, you always go with your one thing. Well, it's good to have somebody that kind of like challenges the way you think and kind of makes you think, oh, maybe this is the right way to do it. Or, I never really thought about that.
Yeah,
so it's like
huge.
It's a balance of things. You got to find somebody that you have the fundamentals in place with, like you're on the same page, but you also need to be kind of like different people that bring different things to the table, if that makes sense.
Definitely. Opposites attract. I think when you find someone that's so much like you, because there's no exterior thoughts, because you guys all think the same, when there's a challenge that neither of you guys know how to solve, you're going to disagree on it hardcore, or you're going to agree on the wrong thing. And you guys are both coming from different worlds, and I think that's perfect. That's actually like, it's what I would do too. I would want someone that's like a little more, maybe more introverted, more techie, right? Me and John are like way more extroverted. We want to go out and party and all that stuff. Like, so it is what it is. But knowing what you guys know now, John, knowing what you know now specifically, go back 3 to 4 years ago, 2017, 2018, when you were just getting started. What would you do differently? What would you like? How would you ramp up the process?
If I knew what I knew now,
yeah,
I would take more action because I wasn't 120% in it. Like I was like kind of dabbling a little bit because I just didn't know if it was going to work or not. And put my back against the wall more and just go for it. And I think I would get a partner sooner rather than later too. Just so we can kind of focus, like someone who's on like the same page as me and just go hard. That's kind of like the higher level view. But of course there's like a lot of other things, in terms of like marketing and sales and all that stuff, which we can get into, but that's like more of the higher level stuff. And just basically just go in harder and just focus on like, sales more and just focus on getting good at sales. Cause at first I was complete crap and I got bit by the sales bug and I bought so many sales books and got help on like sales and stuff. So that's like the number one thing that I probably would have wanted to focus on more. And that really built my confidence too.
That's huge. What about you, Andre? Like making the transition from Shopify to the agency, knowing what you know now, what would you have done differently?
Well, a lot of things, but I guess one of the main things for me was kind of like detaching myself from the clients. That was huge for me because, of course, when you start at the beginning, you don't have any success references in your head, right? So the first client you close, if that is a bust, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm a failure. My agency sucks, whatever. If the second client also, leaves after a month or doesn't close any deals, again, you're going to have that feeling that you suck and there's something wrong with you and everybody has success. And honestly, like I would focus on, I think what was huge for me was the idea of finding the clients that I want to work with. Because at the beginning, I was like, I wanted to close everybody and I wanted to help everybody. And if they would fail, I would think it's my fault. While now, we're kind of like, of course, we still want to close a lot of clients in our niche, but we also have this attitude where, do you deserve to work with us? Like, is your business good enough to partner up with us? Because we have, a reputation and whatever. And we only want to help like the top businesses in our niche. Because if you work with everybody, you're just going to have a lot of headache, low confidence, all that kind of stuff. So if I would go back in the past right now, I would just try to sell more so I can find those clients that actually deserve to work with me and, they can actually have success. Because most clients out there, they have a bunch of issues in their business.
Yes.
And the marketing agency is about pouring fuel on the fire. It's not about fixing everything for them and all that kind of stuff. So
Great.
yeah.
That's great. That's great. I always tell people, like, when you're picking a niche, going back 3-4 years ago when you guys first started, you have to find someone that you actually want to help. Like you have to have someone that you genuinely care about their business. If you were to hang out with them, you would kick it. I was actually at Jeff Seconger's event, yacht party, amazing, $40 million yacht, so much money. And they're chiropractors. And I actually spoke with them, about Atlas Digital and my experience and all that stuff. And dude, I'm like, dude, this is why I work with chiropractors. I actually really like these guys. I'm like, I would hang out with you guys. I want to like meet up. And that's how you have to feel about your clients. You have to feel like you genuinely want to help them out. You don't have to be best friends with them, but you want to help them out. And I think that's huge, is tolerating them. Let's talk about when you guys actually partnered up. For you guys, and when in terms of like the beginning, going from 0 to 10K, 0 to 20 to 10 to 20, what was the biggest part there? Was it like and biggest challenge? And when you guys first partnered up and really starting to scale, do you guys feel like sales was harder? Like for you, John, was it like delivering appointments? What do you feel like was the road? Because I know in the beginning it wasn't like you guys partnered up and it was like 15, 20K immediately, right? It was like,
oh no, yeah, it took a while. For like me, I mean, I guess the overall thing was just bring it back down to the basics and really focusing on pillar 1 and pillar 2. And pillar 1 being like marketing, getting as many appointments as we can. And we just were complete crap at that. And we weren't running ads. We weren't doing like the main things to get appointments and getting volume. And on the sales front, since we didn't have a huge volume of appointments, and we're getting it from like kind of weird sources, the sales weren't as good, like trying to get sales. And then just me, just like trying to learn sales the best that I can. So really it just comes down to pillar 1 and 2, just getting as many appointments and selling as much as you can.
Would you agree, Andre? Same thing, like just setting appointments, closing appointments, setting, closing.
Yeah, I would say pillar number 1 is the most important. Of course, number 2 as well, but you cannot become good at sales if you don't have your calendar booked with appointments. So that's always, even now, like at our level, that's still our main focus. Like how many appointments are we booking and all that kind of stuff. Because we know, okay, if I get on 20 sales calls a week and I didn't close anything, then, I have the epiphany, oh my God, I suck at sales. Now I need to improve this. I reach out to other people to get coached on sales, learn how to sell my product better. But basically, if you have an empty calendar, which we had for like months, we were sending we were doing like cold email, maybe cold calling, and we were lucky if we would get like 2 or 3 appointments, intro calls a week.
Oh man.
Now it's a bad day if we get 5 intros a day. So like, I remember seeing in all these groups, like people, screenshots of their calendars, they were always like fully booked and whatever. And I was like, I know I can sell if I get on enough calls and I, get the confidence and experience. But my problem is I didn't know how to fill up that calendar. So for us, when we started investing in ads, that was huge. That was when we kind of like realized like we can do anything now. Like even if we don't know fulfillment, even if we don't know how to sell properly, if we have ads figured out and we can book our calendar consistently, everything else is going to follow. Like we're just going to have to learn everything when it comes. So
that's amazing. So in the beginning, when you guys, first few months, you guys were doing everything organic, getting a couple appointments here and there, and it's frustrating when you only have 1 appointment. You think you're bad at sales, but I tell everybody you're probably not bad at sales. You probably just don't have opportunity. You're taking 3 a week. You're going 0 for 3. But what happens if you take 10 calls? You're going to go 0 for 10? Probably not. You probably close 1, right? So first few months, you guys were doing everything organic. What made the switch where you guys like, all right, motherfuckers, we got to spend money on ads? Like, what's going on? How did that happen? Was it like you guys saving up, or where did that come?
I feel like we saw like a bunch of stuff in like Facebook groups about people starting to do paid ads, and Andre was starting to figure it out. But I think I know one of the shifts, like when we actually started to blow up and get a lot more calls and stuff, was when we actually joined Joel's group, because that's when he was actually teaching people how to run paid ads. And I think we already somewhat knew how to do it. I think Andre kind of figured it out by himself, but that kind of pushed us over the edge to really go 120% into that. And once we actually bought into something, we invested, because we didn't know what we don't know, right? So we did that, and then that's when things started to go up, and now we have that skill to do that, like
Which
pretty
is-
much whenever.
And I think that's super important. It's I tell everybody, forget about everything else that we teach in scaling and training and all that stuff. The one thing that 7FA does better than I believe anyone else is helping you set up appointments the best way possible with paid ads and help you scale at a higher rate. If we can just do that, not only do you make your investment back, but your business is growing. Even if your fulfillment sucks, I always tell them fulfillment comes and goes. Like if some months are better than others, but you've got to be consistently setting appointments and closing appointments. That's ginormous. So obviously you got started running ads, started selling a little bit more, and then I believe in January, so this past 6 months ago, when you guys came, when John, you came to Mexico, you were around 40K per month, right? Right around that 40, 50K per month.
I think so, yeah.
So from the journey from like 20 to 40, what was that like? Was it just like, hey, setting more appointments? Did you guys start hiring a team? I don't think you had a salesperson yet, and correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Right. I was looking for a salesperson because I was just kind of burnt out with sales, to be honest. Like I just wanted to grow within the business and just do more higher level stuff. And so I think really to get to 100K or like whatever, just keep on doing. We could just keep on doing what we are doing, just as long as we're getting a lot of appointments through and it's fully packed and sales are coming through, then you can get up to 50+K. And then from there, you just want to hire someone or two to take over sales for you or do it with you. And some of the times, like, my sales guy, Ryan, he was just so hungry and they're like really, really fresh. And like, they put that energy out there and he puts his heart and soul into all of his calls. And I think he just was super hungry. So that just like made us blow up more. But really it just comes down to more appointments and just more sales guys.
So we'll talk about the journey when you guys really scaled, but what were your first hirings when you guys, it was you two, and I'm assuming you guys had VAs, but when you guys were starting to scale and make some, decent money, obviously you guys are splitting everything 50-50, right? So you have to you can't just hire hundreds of people off the bat. What were your first hirings? Was it a salesperson? Did you guys hire an account manager first? Obviously you got some virtual assistants. Like, talk to me about the hiring process when you guys were starting to scale.
I guess the biggest player that we hired after us was the account manager, because that was like a huge thing. And it was, like I was dying like every day, like drowning in ads, drowning in client calls, all that BS, whatever. So the moment I got an account manager, all of a sudden I felt like half of my day is free now, and I just could focus more on agency ads. I could focus more on, making the fulfillment a little bit better, but I would not waste so many hours answering emails, client complaints, getting on checking calls and all that stuff. So that was huge. Yeah. And I guess after that came the sales guy again, right, John?
Yeah, like we hired an account manager and we had a VA or two or something. And then I think the closer was just Dex, because at that point, like we were just like ready to scale.
Where did the account Sorry, Andre, go for it.
No, I was gonna say we had some VAs come and go, but like the key players that we hired were first the account manager and then another sales guy, and then after the sales guy we hired another account manager. So it's like a ping pong between these two positions, right? Like you have enough account managers, now you need more salespeople to feed to the account managers. Correct. The account managers are overwhelmed. We need to hire another account manager. Now we can close more clients and so on.
Our goal as salespeople, right, myself, John, was always to overwhelm the account manager. I always want my account manager to be like, I can't do this. That means that I'm doing a great job, and you always want to put pressure on them, just like they want to put pressure on you guys. And then that's how, we have these competitions inside of 7FA, and we did the same thing in Atlas. So two-part question. Where did you guys get your account manager from? I'm always curious because it's a unique job, right? Like, and was she qualified or he qualified off the bat? And how did you guys train them? Like, what was the training like?
I think most of our staff, we got them from Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, like we tried multiple websites, but Indeed has been the best source for us. You're gonna have to, there's gonna be a lot of garbage as well. Like you're gonna get a bunch of applicants, and it's gonna take a long time. But it's especially when you're at the beginning, when it's the team is under 5 people or around that number, like the next hires are super critical, because those people are going to be kind of like the pillars that you're going to build the company with, right? So if they're not really strong and really good, like if you feel like I don't really know about this person, but I'm like, I need somebody right now, like I would suggest not hire them until you find the right person. And I've had many times it happened. Like I was gonna hire somebody, I didn't feel okay about them, and I was like, I'm gonna wait 1 day or 2 extra, and the right person just came. And I think in our agency right now, like our employee churn is very low. Like I think we only had 1 guy leave our agency, and now we're a team of 10 people.
Wow.
So yeah, it's great. And also coming back to your question that I had a couple of minutes ago, like now we're kind of like in that stage where we need to also learn how to be better leaders and how to actually grow our team, right? Like we're not so much into the client fulfillment side, maybe not in the day-to-day sales, but we got to make sure that our team performs and they're the best of the best. So
yeah,
and that's a totally different challenge, right? Like we need to work on that now. So it's quite interesting.
Sure. Yeah. Same thing with Ryan. John, did you guys hire him from Indeed?
Hell no. He was one of my boys from like college.
I love that.
And a lot of people, so this is like another thing, but I was hesitant to bring someone like one of my friends on board, but it's like one of the best things that could have happened. Like I was talking to Ryan Hood and Pierce Grimes, and like a lot of their team is like their brothers, their best friends and stuff. And as long as you set that expectation before they're like actually in, then I think you're like fine. And like he's like a killer. He's hungry. He's loyal as hell, and just makes it a lot more fun. But I got him from school and just my awesome. Friends.
Dude, I say the same thing. Like this is how did I get hired by Joel? And I didn't know who the hell Joel. I know who Joel was. So Marcos and I are really close. And when you hire your friend that you're close and you said loyal, that's a huge thing, because loyalty is I need someone that's loyal, talented.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
It's gonna F me over, right? And I think if you see I think you saw something in him that maybe he didn't see in himself.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
and like I was like, I like knew that he worked super, super hard, and he has done some sales in the past. So that definitely helped me to bring him on board. It's not like he was just like some random friend that I knew was going to be loyal and I was going to trust, but he actually has like history in like, doing sales too. So
that's huge. It's dude, exactly what happened with you and Ryan. It's happened with me and Marcus. I worked with them in sales together. Like, I had some experience. But so it compounds. But I always tell people, you got to be very, very careful when you're hiring friends. You got to set the right expectations. You're not just there to hook them up. Like, you hire the wrong friend, they're going to ruin your business. They're going to drain a lot of your energy and time. I've seen it happen a lot, and you just got to be careful. So right now, so you guys, started building up. You after that Mexico event, and I don't know if it was a Mexico event specifically, but what was the biggest jump from like going from 40, 50 to 100? Like, how did that happen? Was it just team systems? Like, what was that like?
I think once I hired Ryan and appointments were just on point, and we just had like a good base in our company to take on clients, it just kind of blew up more. I mean, I think just the foundation just comes down to just sales, all right? Just getting as many sales as we can. And something else that we need to work on at some point is like keeping our clients more. And we're actually, our like next shift in phase is going to be huge. But yeah, I think the biggest thing was just hiring Ryan and just like having that base.
Andre, would you agree? Like, it's like there's just more sales, doing the basics and just doing it more of the basics.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would say, a lot of people, when they think about marketing agency, they think about, in order for them to be the best marketing agency out there, their services need to be like, of course, your services need to be the best, right? Like they need to be as good as possible to help your clients. But you're never going to reach that level where you have 100% retention rate with your clients. Every client's going to be happy, all that kind of stuff. So I guess for us, one of the shifts that we had in our mind was, okay, we don't need to be a marketing agency that satisfies everybody. We need to be a sales agency. Like our goal here is not to grow our clients' businesses, is to grow our agency. Like that's goal number one. Everything else is going to follow. Because if we're a big agency, we're going to be able to solve bigger problems. We're going to have more money to invest in our fulfillment. We're going to be able to improve our services. If we're a small agency trying to please everybody left and right, we're never going to grow. So we kind of shifted from being a marketing agency to being our own sales agency. And the main goal was growing our company and not other companies, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you when you grow your company, you're growing other companies, right? So it's like
Exactly.
It works hand in hand. If you guys are watching this live, I haven't said this. I usually say this before. Drop a 1 if they're dropping some fire sauce. I'm learning a lot because again, I've known John. I didn't know too much about Andrei, and it's cool to see how a partnership from one person in Denver, another person in Sweden, like not even near each other, literally having to take multiple flights to see each other, and they're making it happen. So there's no excuses, like especially if you're working with someone together, like man, that's ginormous. So it's definitely possible, and it's even possible when you're across the world from somebody else. So it's pretty cool to see. So now you guys have hit 100K. Someone actually asked a really good question, like about compensation when it comes to your sales guy and account manager. Did you guys start on like a smaller, like if you're an account manager, for instance, was that a smaller base, and then there's bonuses? Like how do you guys compensate these people? And then we'll talk about your sales guys compensation as well.
When it comes to the account managers, we have like a 2-month trial where, so account managers get paid like $3K, after 2 months. In the first month, we pay them like $1,800. The second month, we pay them $2,500. And starting from the third month, we pay them $3,000. The reason for that is that we don't expect anybody when they start working for us, we don't expect them to know anything that much. So the first 2 months are more like training, teaching them, coaching them on how to coach our clients. There's a lot of stuff to learn, right? So it's like a training / probation period. And then after that, in the third month, they get paid a base of $3,000, and they get bonuses for retention, for upsells. We have a lot of stuff. We have like a full-blown menu with like
Amazing.
10 different items that they can sell, upsell, and they get a percentage of that.
We'll talk about it in a minute. When it comes to churn rate, I actually want to go back to something you said. You said only one person left. What do you guys think makes you different about people wanting to work with you guys and not leave? And that, because in agency and companies, corporate, churn rate's really, really like common. I've seen it happen in companies I work with, the companies I've seen, like agencies I work with, all that good stuff. What do you guys makes you guys think? What do you feel like makes you guys different about keeping clients? Is like compensating them, like building relationships? What is it that is making these guys stick with you guys long term?
You mean our employees, like our team?
Yep.
I personally think it's just they just think of us like they're just happy and they're compensated pretty well. The perks are nice. They're working from home, and we're like kind of like a family. So they enjoy coming to work. It's not like they're grinding and it's like the worst job in the whole world. So it just kind of works out. Maybe we've been lucky with these guys so far. Maybe not. I don't know. But
yeah, there's definitely a factor.
They're just happy. Yeah.
It's a people, right? Like we have a V agency. Sometimes you might hire the greatest V off the bat. Sometimes you don't have the greatest V off the bat, and there's a luck factor to it. But you can't depend on luck when it comes to scaling. Like I think you guys have the right systems. Agency's growing. You and Andrei have a really good relationship. Like I think people are looking at that. Then you want to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. Everybody wants that.
Yeah, and it's about treating them nicely and having monthly reviews with them, performance reviews, asking them what they actually want to do. And like we always try to position our agency, like we don't want them to feel like employees, like they're just going to their 9 to 5 to help us make money. Like they have their own goals, right? Like every person has something that they strive to achieve and all that. So we kind of like try to figure that out, and then we just ask them, okay, how do you think we can help you? How can this experience help you get closer to your goals? And they appreciate that because they kind of see, okay, by working here, I get something that maybe I don't get in other places. Maybe I get flexibility. Like I don't need to be in an office. I don't need to, do all kinds of weird stuff that they make you do in a corporation. Or, maybe I get to travel more, or I get money, it's all kind of things. Like once you figure out what actually drives them and what they actually want to achieve, like what are their bigger goals? Maybe some people want to have a family, but they cannot afford to commute to the city or something like that. So it's different things for different people, right? And once we kind of figure that out, we see, okay, does this make sense for you? How can we help you? Do you see the connection? And that just makes them more motivated for this to work.
Yeah, interesting. Very cool to see. Then I really love seeing that because that's powerful. Yeah, there's nothing. You guys are working with people for people, right? So at the end of the day, it's like it's people business. You got to treat your own people right. You got to treat your clients right. Right now, you guys are doing 6-figure months, 7-figure business, which is amazing. What are the biggest challenges you guys are facing? Is it? I think Johnny spoke about it a little bit. Is it keeping like retention because you guys have kind of figured out sales, or what would you say like in terms of getting to 200, 300K per month? What's the biggest challenge right now you guys are facing?
I would say hiring the right people and just doing more of what works, right? I think something that Joel has said that is something that we have been doing is just doing more of what works, but also something for us right now, we feel like we need to innovate a little bit more. And because like this agency space is pretty big, I guess, for right now. Like maybe it wasn't like back when I first started, but maybe it is now. We're trying to do more and a little bit different. Some things, offer some more services and maybe widen our niche a little bit, because once you know how to scale one, niche, you can do it for any niche. And so that's kind of what we're starting to do now.
Nice. That's huge. I think the challenges you're facing at different levels, if you are able to overcome them and you continuously overcome them, and you invest and you grow, it's unstoppable. Like where you can get to, we have agencies that are doing $500,000 a month, which is it's there. I've seen it. I really talk to them, so it's cool to see. So the biggest thing is like right now there's actually a question here, and then we have 10 minutes left. And again, I really appreciate your guys' time. Like the hurdles you guys took from 10 to 20K and then the 30 to 40 and beyond, would you guys say it's just the basics? I think people overthink it. Do you think it's like more appointments, sales?
Yeah, honestly, the difference between 20K to 30K is just 5 more clients. Like just focus on the basics. There's
that's
nothing,
But it's crazy that you're saying this now because
keep it simple. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and when we were at 20K, we were like, man, I cannot imagine being at 40K. Like, what do we need to do to be there? Like, we were just like mentally, masturbating all the time. We need to have all these things. It's just like close more deals. That's it.
Yeah, we actually got in our own way because like sometimes we like look at others and what they're doing and having those like shiny objects and like, oh, do we need to like change this up, change our offer all the time and do this, offer a different service, but just do more of what works and 5x it, and then you're already at 50K.
Do more of what works.
Yeah, and then when you did that, then you can talk. I would say like, if you're not at least 50K a month, like don't even look into diversifying your services or all that stuff. It's simple. Book appointments, close deals. There's no difference between 5K and 40K besides booking more appointments and closing more deals. That's it. And when you're at 50K, then you start looking, okay, how can I refine my fulfillment? What kind of people do I need in my team to grow this more? What kind of personalities? What kind of skills?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it's doing more of the quote unquote boring work, right? Doing the sales, doing the marketing, like literally putting yourself out there. And I think mastering your niche, like really understanding what is their challenges, understanding who you're talking to in and out, to where you can roll out of bed and you can just talk to them immediately, just like that. That's when you're good at it becomes a habit. It takes time to build that. That wasn't the case a year and a half ago when you guys first like partnered up, and you guys have been doing this for like 2 years now. So like when you first partnered up, you probably have to like figure out the niche and the pain points and all that stuff. And people try to fast, they want to get to 100K per month, but they didn't see you guys 2 years ago. And John, they didn't talk to you 2 years ago when they were like when you were just struggling in sales, and Andre when you were trying to figure things out. They're seeing you guys now at 100K per month, but yeah, you guys have been doing this combined for 6-7 years. That's insane. That's a lot. That's a long time. A decade of doing this together.
Yeah.
So it's
been a long ass time. And I know someone actually asked a question about how we pay our sales guys, and I want to like answer his question because I didn't. But basically, just to keep it short, what I do is I just pay him a one-time payout per like sale, either 20% or 25 of like total revenue, because the idea is to keep these clients for more than 2 or 3 months, and that keeps them hungry too, so they're not constantly getting paid like every single month. So that's just what I do.
I think that's great. Yeah, I changed our compensation plan a few times. I've structured it. I love to feel like not every month that I want to strive for a bigger number and level up. So what I do is for between 0 to 10 sales, they get this percentage. From 11 to 20 sales, they get this percentage. From 21 and above, something along those lines. I think this is the 3 or 4 levels. And then every single time that you sell more, the more you sell, the more you earn. So I've always thought that to be the best thing. And salespeople, everybody, myself, John, everyone that's done sales, you have an ego. That's it. And you want to make more money. So salespeople, if you pay them well, you treat them well, they're in control. They feel like they're in control, because salespeople really, in the end of the day, you do want to be an entrepreneur. But if you feel like you're in control, you are part of the company, you're getting compensated, they'll stay around. This is why people are like, man, how would you, I love Joel Marcus, but man, if I didn't make 6 figures, I probably would have left. And now I've made multiple 6 figures, like closing halfway next year, I would have made close to $500,000 in commissions, straight from commissions. And it's because I've been able to compensate and level up slowly but surely. So you want to keep your salespeople, like how loyal I've been with Joel, Ryan, with you guys. You got to compensate them. That's it. You can't be cheap with your sales guys, because they will leave like that, especially if they're good.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you guys did not hire Ryan month 1, month 2, month 3.
Yeah.
Right? You literally were like, man, I'm burnt out. And the biggest thing out of that, John, is that you cracked the code on sales. It wasn't that you were burnt out and you fucking figured it out. You cracked it, and you're like, yo, Ryan, here's what you need to do. Step 1, step 2, step 3 is how you close them.
Absolutely.
Follow up, right?
Yeah, like once you crack it and like you have a good sales process and a good base, you can just copy and paste that with someone else.
Yeah, I tell it to everybody. You don't have to hit a certain revenue to hire a salesperson. You literally can hit 10K a month and get a salesperson.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
As long as you've cracked it, you can get a salesperson. The problem is nobody cracks it, and then they hire a salesperson to solve their issue, but you haven't solved your own issue.
Yeah.
And then you hire a guy to build your business, and it's just crazy.
Yeah. Like that's like what I wanted to like do too. Like I wanted to at first to hire a actual closer, like someone who's like hungry and like knows their stuff, but like it just doesn't work, because you have to crack the sales process and you have to tell them how to do those types of things, and it's just like the way it is. But yeah.
And it's the same thing with marketing. It's just like you have to crack the code on sales, you have to crack the code on paid ads. You're not going to pay an exterior person 30% per person that books appointment. Cool. So the last 5 minutes, I always like to spend it on I want to make it about you guys, but we're gonna make it a little bit about us. So when you guys joined 7FA, number one, what was the biggest reason you guys even joined? Because there's so many other companies. Obviously, John, you have a relationship with Joel. What was the number one struggle at the time? Was it just appointments and sales? Like, hey guys, we need more appointments. Well, where did that come from?
So for me, so we joined 7FA, the first program, like, I don't know, like 2 years ago or something, I forgot, or maybe a year and a half ago. And I think for me, like we were kind of just stagnant and stuck, and we wanted to know more about getting more appointments, how to do better at sales, systems, who to hire, because there wasn't like a good program out there that taught us that stuff, and it's not like we just know that from like school, right? So we were at that point where we just wanted to know more, and we wanted help from a network of people that have been where we're at and tell us exactly how to get there. And that's simply it for like me.
Yeah, same. Would you say the same? Yeah, just leveling up.
Leveling up, yeah.
Interesting.
You you just get to some point and you're just like, okay, I think I'm stuck here. I want to know more, and then that's it. Yeah.
What was the best? If you have someone, let's just say, someone is like on the fence, like, I don't know, I've seen Joel stuff, but they're not really sold yet. What would you tell someone like that? That's like, dude, I don't know, they're like legit.
I think this is like an Andre question.
Yeah, because John, you were.
I was just thinking, like, our number one problem was I was looking at my calendar constantly and it was empty. Like we were not getting appointments. And I was seeing, I think Joel back then, like 2 years ago, he had a lot of like Facebook stories with, people with their book calendars and whatever. And I wanted to figure that out. I wanted to know how they're doing it. And that was it basically. Like, pay for stuff that you don't know how to fix on your own. I think that's really important. Like, if you do something for a while and you see that, okay, it's basically the same thing over and over again, go to the guy that you see that's having success and figured out what you're struggling with, and pay them or whatever. And then I guess the important part as well is, like, I'm against paying for courses, maybe even at this stage. Like, I'm against paying for courses, but I'm not against paying for access to people. So maybe a lot of people they're going to be, I'm just going to get a course with some videos, and I'm going to figure this out just by watching videos. I don't want to do that. I've watched hundreds of hours now. But like, think of it like I'm getting access to Omer. I don't know how available you are for people in the group, but like, you're getting access to Omer. You're getting access to the coaches. You're getting access to different people, and that's super huge. So you're not just paying for a course or group calls. You're getting access to people, and that's really important.
And I feel like if I was completely new to this space and I was cold and I wanted to look for someone to help me out to get started or to level up, I would look at social proof too. I mean, that's huge. That's what like everyone looks at. And the fact that you're doing these lives all the time, and like with agency owners that have been through his program and have leveled up, like that just shows a ton. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of different types of programs don't. And just the amount of people that Joel has helped is crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. So there's somebody, just last question here. Someone asked, how much do you guys charge your clients, and do you guys do contracts? So I know obviously you guys have different packages, but on average, what do you guys charge, and is it contracted?
So what we charge, it depends. We have like multiple packages. Like, we have like a downsell, we have like a main package, but it varies around like $1,500-$1,600 per month for the actual management fee. So it's not like something crazy. I think that's pretty standard. And then we get the ad spend too, which is like $1,500 or something. So total would be around $3,000. And then we try and sell them on a one-time setup fee for like $500 or like more. And that's really, really cool, because that like liquidates the payout for that actual sales guy too.
Huge. Yeah. Do you guys do contracts?
For right now, no. We tried it, didn't really work out, but maybe we'll go back to it at some point.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I think if you're brand new, just do month to month. Like, that's the easiest sale.
Yeah.
So like, don't try to be complicated. Dude, they've been doing this for a long time. $1,500 plus ad spend, setup fee, month to month. If you guys can stick to the basics, set appointments, close appointments, you will get there. So anyways, guys, I really do appreciate your time, Andrei, John. Man, it was awesome. Great talking to you guys. And then I know we'll take John, hopefully you come to Miami. Andrei, hopefully we'll get to meet each other at some point. And then, guys, again,